Hello and what's up guys. In this video, we are diving into a story that is sparking heated debate across Nigeria. A bold and controversial demand from the Muslim right concern, Muric, that could change the way our courts, weekends and even marriages are handled in this country. Are we about to see Sharia courts pop up in the southwest? Will Fridays become a work-free day nationwide? And why is this group saying the current system is unfair to Muslims? Stay with me as we unpack this explosive story step by step with twists and turns that will keep you glued to your screen. Let's get into it. Imagine waking up one day to hear that a major change is coming to the courts in your state. A change that could reshape how justice is served for millions of Nigerians. That's exactly what Muric, the Muslim right concern, is pushing for. They are demanding that Sharia courts based on Islamic laws, be established in every southwest state, including places like Lagos, Oyo, and even Edo. Yes, you heard that right, Edo too. Muric's founder, Professor Ishaq Akintola, dropped this bombshell during a public hearing on constitutional review in Lagos, organized by the Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution. Akintola wasn't there himself. He sent Dr. Jamil Husari to speak on his behalf, and what they said has got people talking. According to Muric, there is not a single Sharia court in the southwest, even though they claim Muslims make up a huge chunk of the population there, possibly even the majority in some states. Now, pause for a second. Why does this matter? Muric says this isn't just about courts, it is about fairness. They argue that before the British came to Nigeria, Yoruba Muslims had their own system of justice based on Islamic law. But when the colonialists arrived, they changed everything, imposing a system that sidelined Muslims. Muric says this is a historical wrong that needs to be fixed. They want Sharia court to handle cases involving Muslims like marriage disputes, inheritance, or other personal matters without affecting non-Muslims. Sounds simple, right? But hold on, because this is where things get tricky. Let's break this down so it is crystal clear. Sharia courts, for those who might not know, are legal systems based on Islamic principles drawn from the Quran and other Islamic teachings. They are already in place in many northern states like Kano, Sokoto, and Zamfara, where they handle things like family dispute or financial matters for Muslims. But in the southwest, nothing like that exists. Muric says this is a problem because Muslims in places like Ibadan, Abeokuta, or Lagos don't have access to courts that align with their faith. But here is the twist. Not everyone agrees that Muslims are the majority in the southwest. Some say the region is a mix of Christians, Muslims, and traditional worshippers, with no single group dominating. So why is Muric so confident about this demand? Are they seeing something we are not? And what happens if these courts are set up? Will they only serve Muslims as Muric promises, or could this open the door to bigger changes? Keep watching because this is just the beginning. Now, let's talk about the second part of Muric's demand. And trust me, this one's even more explosive. They are seeking for Fridays to be made a public holidays across Nigeria, a work-free day for Muslims to attend Jumu'ah prayers. Yes, you heard that correctly. They want Friday to join Saturday and Sunday as part of the weekend, arguing that the current setup is unfair to Muslims. According to Professor Akintola, before the British colonized Nigeria, Thursday and Friday were the traditional rest day for Muslims, but the colonialists changed that, making Saturday and Sunday the official weekend to suit Christians. Muric even claims that Saturday became a full day off under General Yakubu Gowon's regime in the 1970s to favor Seventh-day Adventists, a Christian group that worships on Saturdays. Their point, the current weekend structure is a colonial leftover that doesn't reflect Nigeria's religious diversity. Think about it. Nigeria has 8 national public holidays: Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year, Good Friday, Easter Monday, Eid Kabir, Eid Fitri, and Maulud. Muric says 5 of these holidays are tied to Christianity, while only 3 are for Muslims. They are calling for balance, demanding that the Islamic New Year be added as a national holiday and that Friday becomes a work-free day. But here is the question buzzing in everyone's mind. If Fridays become a holiday, what happens to businesses, schools, and offices? Will non-Muslims be okay with this? And could this spark tension in a country already divided along religious lines? As if that wasn't enough, Muric dropped another bombshell. They are demanding that Islamic marriages known as nikah be given the same legal recognition as Christian marriage or court weddings. Right now, if you get married in a church or at a registry, your marriage certificate is accepted everywhere, banks, embassies, you name it. But a nikah certificate, Muric says it is often rejected, leaving Muslim couples struggling to prove their marriage in official setting. Imagine you are a Muslim couple trying to open a joint bank account or apply for a visa and you are told your nikah certificate isn't valid. Muric calls this discrimination, plain and simple. They want the constitution amended to recognize Islamic marriages fully so Muslim couples don't face these hurdles. But here is where it gets interesting. Could this push for equality lead to other groups like traditionalists demanding recognition too? And how will the government balance all these demands without stepping on anyone's toes? To understand why this story is so big, let's take a trip down memory lane. Nigeria has always been a country where religion and politics mix, sometimes with dangerous results. Back in early 2000s, when some northern states like Zamfara introduced Sharia law, it caused massive controversy. There were protests, clashes, and even fears that the country could split apart. Christians in those states worried they would be forced to follow Islamic laws, while Muslims argued it was their right to practice their faith fully. Fast forward to today, and Muric's demand are raising similar questions. Will Sharia courts in the southwest lead to peace or more division? And what about the Friday holiday? In 2017, Osun State made headlines when the government declared a public holiday for traditional worshippers. Some cheered, but others called it a step too far. Could Muric's push for a Friday holiday face the same backlash? And here is the suspenseful part. What happens if the government says yes to Muric, but no to other groups? Or worst, what if they say no to everyone? Let's zoom out for a moment. Muric's demands aren't just about courts or holidays. They are about power, identity, and fairness in a country where religion shapes almost everything. Nigeria is roughly split between Muslims and Christians, with a sprinkle of traditional worshippers and others. Any change that seems to favor one group can feel like a loss for another. That's why this story is so tense. If the government agrees to Sharia courts or Friday holidays, will Christians feel left out? If they say no, will Muslims feel cheated? And there is more. The Muslim Ummah of Southwest Nigeria, Muslim, is backing Muric's call and even adding their own twist. They want special court for Islamic finance, think Sharia, compliant banking and investment. This could open up new economic opportunities for Muslims, but it also raises questions. Will these changes make Nigeria more inclusive, as Muric claims, or will they deepen the divide between communities? The Senate, led by Deputy President Jubrin Barau, has promised to review all these demands, but with youth groups, women groups, and others also making their own proposals, the National Assembly has a tough job ahead. This story is already blowing up on social media, and Nigerians aren't holding back. Some are saying this is long overdue. Muslims deserve equal treatment. Others are worried, asking what is next. Will every group demand their own courts and holidays? On X, one user posted, if Fridays become a holiday, what happens to Monday to Friday workers? Will we get a shorter work week or just more chaos? Another user wrote, Sharia in the Southwest? This will change everything for better or worse. The suspense is real because no one knows what the Senate will decide. Will they give in to Muric's demand, or will they stick to the status quo to avoid rocking the boat? And here is the kicker. Whatever they choose, someone is going to be unhappy. Could this be the spark that ignites a bigger debate about religion in Nigeria, or will it quietly fade away like so many other proposals? So where does this leave us? Muric's demand for Sharia courts, Friday holidays, and equal recognition for Islamic marriages have opened a Pandora's box. On one hand, they are asking for fairness in a country where religion is deeply personal. On the other hand, their proposal will shift the delicate balance between Nigeria's diverse communities. The Senate has promised to look into it, but with so many voices shouting to be heard, the road ahead is anything but clear. What do you think? Should Sharia court be allowed in the Southwest? Is a Friday holiday a fair ask, or does it implicate things too much? And what about the nikah certificates? Should they get the same respect as other marriages? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is just getting started. There you have it, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Feel free to share your thoughts after watching.